All right, everybody, we're back again. Thank you for coming and tuning into another episode of The Hatening. I'm still Hoop. I have a story today. It's kind of a bummer. It's a weird one, kind of, but this happened a couple years ago. I guess for the sake of anonymity, I'll call him a family friend. A guy that my family knew. He was an older guy. 50s or 60s probably, I guess. You know, not like old, but older, right? And he had a family. He had like a wife and kids and grandkids and shit. And so he booked a cruise. He was like retirement age, I guess. But he booked a cruise and he took his entire family on it. You know, his kids, his grandkids, everybody was all on this cruise. And it was like a really big deal for them. It was a really fun thing for them to do, right? They're on this cruise. They're out at sea. They're having fun. And then this guy has a fucking stroke and dies on the cruise ship. Just falls down dead on the cruise ship, right? But they're out at fucking sea. And so this is when I learned that when you die on a cruise ship, the way that like the law works, the way that like the maritime stuff and international whatever, and like how cruises work, where like they go to the different ports and all that shit, right? If you die on a fucking cruise ship, they keep your body on the cruise ship until you get back to your port, and then they basically just like surrender the body over to the family, and then you kind of just gotta like figure out what you're going to do with that body. But they keep the body on the cruise ship the entire time. So if you're on a fucking 12-day cruise and you die that first night, that body stays on that fucking cruise ship for the entire time. And I forget how long the cruise was. It wasn't one of those like super long ones, but it was still a pretty long time. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, damn dude, if you die on a cruise, where do they put your body? Do they have a funeral thing? Do they have a mortuary? Do they have a... Nah, dude, they don't. They put you in a fucking, like a freezer, like a fucking ice chest, right? So this guy died. They had to do the funeral protocols, or the death protocols. Apparently it happens. Like, it's not like a super common thing, but it definitely is something that happens where people die on cruises. And so they take you down into the little storage area and they wrap you up and they put you in a fucking freezer. But there's already stuff in that freezer, so I guess they gave out a bunch of free ice cream that night, you know? Like, they had to empty out a freezer. So, yeah, they put him in a fucking freezer, and his family had to then spend, like, the rest of however many days, like, knowing that, oh, granddad's, like, dead in the basement of this boat, but we're going to the beach tomorrow. Like, I can't imagine what that family was like going through and stuff. And, you know, my family members who were close to this guy were like pretty upset, and it was like a big deal. It was definitely like, I knew the guy. He was always very nice to me. He was a very cool dude. I couldn't help finding it really funny that he died on a cruise. And it's kind of like, I don't know, if you're going to like stroke out and like just fucking have the whole like death, walking the fucking, you know, the outside of like a cruise ship, like on a nice day, doesn't seem like the worst way to go. Like, it sucks for the people you left behind, but in terms of like you dying, like, I don't know, that's fine with me, you know. It seemed like a nightmare trying to get his body back to Maryland from wherever their port of call was, like Florida or some shit. But yeah, I didn't know that. I figured, you know, like, if you die on a fucking cruise ship, like the next time the boat lands, you know, they're like, oh, hey, this guy died. And then you either get buried in that place or like pay however much millions of thousands of however many dollars to fucking get your body from like Jamaica to the United States. But no, they just keep you on that fucking boat. And apparently it like happens enough to where there's like pretty solid like protocols for it, which I find fucking crazy. But yeah, no, I like cruises. I've been on a cruise once. I definitely want to do it again. But the whole time I'm on there, I'm going to be like wondering if someone dies, especially if they're like, hey, guess what? Ice cream party. Hey, we got a lot of frozen stuff for everyone. Like, oh, like if you're evacuating a freezer with haste, it must mean that there's like an old man who died in that fucking box. I don't know. I feel like if that happened to me and I like stroked out on a boat and died, I'd want them to just kind of like dump me over and give me like a, like a Bin Laden style like burial at sea. You know what I'm saying? That would be fucking sick. Like, I don't want to fucking my family have to deal with like getting me from like Miami back to Baltimore. Fuck that shit. Just like dump me somewhere in the Caribbean. That'd be fucking tight. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for listening to the show. Andrew and I really appreciate it. If you like the show, please like and subscribe. Give us a good review. That really helps us out. Tell your friends, all that good stuff. But yeah, take care of yourself and the people around you, and don't forget to tell your friends you love them.
Hey, Andrew? Yes, Jesus again.
I call you back. Okay, bye.
Andrew, please! To bleed back!